We are going to have a biz tip and we have a bug infestation.
Let's get started.
Yes! So, I have a very special artist to introduce to you today. She's in Toronto, Canada, and her name is Liz Bonzer. Welcome, Liz. How are you doing today?
Very well, thank you, Shimon.
Liz, we want to know everything about you. So, my first question is always, how did you get started with art?
Art I've always been doing as a child, but nothing fancy-dancy, but I've always been very artistic and love it.
And what kind of mediums were you using when you were doing other types of art?
It would be more a lot of drawing, painting, a little bit of painting. I'm teaching myself that as we speak. A lot of crafty kind of things that I would make, things like that. Just always kind of into. But you know, life is busy, so you can only do so much.
Right? How was your introduction then to Paverpol? Because usually what I see, Liz, is that people that like two-dimensional arts, like painting, right, they tend to stick in that arena, but I can see you went to the 3D part. So how was your introduction?
It was a neighbor of mine. There was 4 of us. We were all retired, and she invited us to a Paverpol workshop. So I went, absolutely in love with it. And then I went for the second one right away. And that was the heron workshop.
Oh.
And then I got certified right away because I figured,
nice.
Hey,
you're
so
an
much
action
fun.
girl. You take action.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 I love
big
that.
Time. Yeah, definitely.
So then you start, of course, you were inspired and you started creating your own pieces, right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I've taken quite a few tutorials to just enhance what I already know and just get better and better all the time.
That's good. That's always, you know, it keeps us healthy, learning all the time. Now,
yes.
You mentioned you got a certified as an instructor, so you started giving classes as well.
Yes, I converted my garage, which wasn't being used except for a junkyard. So I converted that into my studio and fantastic space. And this is where I do my workshops. I created about 8 or 9 different workshops that I can teach now and adding all the time. You know, it's whatever people want, I can certainly make happen.
So have you given classes before this experience?
With art, no.
No.
Not art.
And
no.
Okay, so you got there. I bet on the first day you were kind of nervous and things, right? But tell me how you felt after you gave your first class.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was just so, I love to teach. I love to teach different things to different people. And my background is sales and marketing. So it goes right down into my, way of life. So it was a wonderful experience. And the people, of course, were very gracious and patient with me for the first class. But it was great. It was great.
And how long ago was that?
When I got certified was in 2018, and I started this class probably the next day.
That's good. I like that. Yeah. Take action, right? Say yes first, right? Now, tell about your pieces. Do you sell them? Do you put them in galleries, or do you use them just as examples for your classes?
Right now, I'm going to start to go to craft shows, but I haven't done that as yet. I still am learning, so I'm not so confident about selling, although people say to me all the time, Liz, you need to sell your stuff. So right now, no, I do a lot of gifts for different people, special, commissions for people, things like that. But actually sell at a craft show, no, not yet, but I will. I'm going to.
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
Just let's pretend you were in a bazaar right now and I was going through your booth right now. I would ask about the girl with the balloon, the other girl or boy beside her in blue, the one seating, all those attracted me right away. So it's a possible sale. As you've been in marketing and sales, you say, okay, that's the door open, right? But before we talk about this part, I want to know, you did prepare a very cool tutorial for us. Do you have the piece there so you can show us?
I certainly do, yes.
Oh, look at that. Tell me a
Which way
little
we
bit
go?
about what inspired you to make this piece.
Well, I made another piece very similar, different colors, and I thought I've always wanted to do the mask thing and see how that worked out, and I loved what I had made over there. And then you had asked me to do something, and I thought that's the one I want to do, something different, adding different Paverpol products, and it's so versatile. There's so many things you can do. It's endless.
I think that's
So,
what makes us fall in love with it, right? Because you're seeing, oh, it's not just because the product is a good product, it's all that it allows us to create, correct? So it gives,
amazing.
I can see you're a very active person, so I bet your mind is always, oh, I could make this, I could make that. And it gives
No,
a way
it's
to do
actually a
it.
problem, Shahar.
I know. You
It
tell
keeps
me
me up
about
at
it.
night. Yeah, and it's funny. I was just on a walk this morning with one of my friends for an hour and a half, and I saw some kind of foliage, and I went, "Oh my God, I could use that too," you know. And she goes, "Liz, settle down. Let's just keep walking." So
See?
it is endless.
I know, I know, I know. You know, I always say that Michael Jackson and I, we have a very common thing. We cannot sleep, right? Because
Yeah.
the mind doesn't stop. I know how it is.
Yeah.
Liz, what do you say if we watch the very first part of the tutorial? Is that part that is really what we need to get together to make it going? So let's watch that.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Great.
so let's watch part number 1.
Hi, everyone. It's Liz Bonser from Opening Minds Innovations, and welcome to Pavercraft. I have been a certified Paverpol instructor for about 2.5 years now and love the product. It's so much fun. And I'm going to show you today how to make this here. Now, it's going to be different colors because I never repeat the work that I do. And the one I'm working on currently is going to be very colorful, to say the least. So whether these colors work or not doesn't matter to me. I experiment all the time with all the different products that Paverpol has to offer, and so we'll get into that. As you can see, I've got all my products that I'm going to be using for this project sitting here on the table. I'm in my studio here in Sharbot Lake. It's in Ontario, Canada. And we converted our garage into this lovely area that I can work in every single day, and I'm loving it. So we'll get started. Here is what we're going to attempt to make. We will make. Some of the products that we're using currently will be, first of all, Paverpol Transparent. I use this all the time. It's a great product. You can mix different paints with it. Very versatile. You can use natural materials also, and then just dip it into the transparent, and then you'll have the exact color that you were starting off with your material. So that's the Paverpol Transparent. I use Paver Sand. This is a great product too. It gives you a lot of texture. It'll thicken up some of the Paverpol for you also, which is ideal for different applications. So we'll be using that today. Art Stone. Art Stone is actually being used today for making clay. So it's called rose clay, and I add this to whatever color Paverpol that I'm using. So that can be black, gray, pink, bronze, and so on. So, and we now have the new white Paverpol, which is a wonderful product. I love it. So we add that, and what you can actually make out of this with the Paverpol is called the rose clay. This can be made ahead of time. Make sure you put it in plastic, and it stays wonderfully soft and pliable for months. I keep making this. I made this out of the black Paverpol, and then with the Art Stone, and I can use this for making shoes or boots or all sorts of stuff. You can actually apply it on figurines. That makes the product or your actual figurine much smoother and softer. So it's an ideal product. Just make sure you keep it very tightly wrapped and back into a container, and it'll last forever this way. Now with the rose clay, what I've done is I've made little flowers. So you'll see them actually on here, these blue and green flowers. And that's just made with the rose clay. Very simple, easy to use, and then you just paint afterwards. I do want to recommend though that if you're going to be playing with this, that you make sure that you make these flowers a day ahead so that it dries and then it can be painted afterwards. Also with your canvas, when you're doing your canvas, you make sure you put the gesso on there and then let it sit overnight. I do the gesso very thick with a lot of different textures, just to bring out some of the texture on the actual form here, which is wonderful. What you will need is a canvas. Dollar store is great, and buy that along with all sorts of other stuff from the dollar store, so you can have your dowels, your little skewers. I use this a lot just to do the picking, to make sure that I can pull up some of my my features there. The dowel is for definitely stirring your Paverpol. Make sure that's well stirred before using, just to make sure that the mixture is well mixed up. Now we also will be using these from the dollar store also. These masks are great. You just paint about 3 coats of different colors on there and let it sit, and then that will be applied to your actual canvas. I use the Paver paints. These are brand new, wonderful colors, absolutely gorgeous colors. I use those quite a bit now, and they're amazing. So these are Paver paints. Then we have Paver colors, which is a powder, and that will get mixed in with your transparent to make whatever color you want. We also have different brushes. Brushes are inexpensive. You can get them at the dollar store, or you can get them wherever you want. You don't need expensive at all. These are very versatile and not expensive, so use those. We have cutters, of course, to cut your wire. Now, I'm using a very light wire from, again, dollar store, and this was used for the actual flowers here, for the stems. Use that all the time. I've also got relief decor. Relief decor is actually this part in here is what I've done with the ladies. Now you can use t-shirt material, you can use whatever you want to create this. This is just what my preference was. I used an actual peacock feather. This I ordered from Amazon, and you get probably about, I don't know, 40 or 50 of these, and they make a really pretty, what do you call it? Something to attract to your figure. Cutters I've talked about. Scissors, of course, you're going to need. I use gloves. I prefer to use gloves because it's just easier. It's got a nice little grip to it, and just better than using my fingers. And I have a lot of rings, I know, and I never take them off, and they're a pain to take off, so gloves are my way to do what I want to do. What else is there? That's pretty much it that I can think of. So again, like I say, make sure that you start your canvas the day before, get the painting done, whatever colors you want, and then also paint these up as soon as you can, and just in preparation. And of course your roses. This, by the way, is also from the dollar store, and it is perfect for placing your little things that you want to get to be dry. Okay, let's get started here. This is a canvas from the dollar store. Now, what I've actually used over there is a 12 by 12 inch canvas, and as I said before, you need to make sure you do this ahead of time. So what I did is I painted my colors. You can pick whatever colors you want. I picked my colors, painted it, and then I also used Paver sand to give it even more texture so that it pops better. And I did this the day before, along with the roses, and I'll explain those in a second. So make sure that you do those kind of things ahead of time. This here is your rose clay. Rose clay was made with Paverpol black and the art stone. It becomes very pliable. It's wonderful stuff to work with, and I just mixed up whatever it was that I needed to mix up with the black and then the art stone until it became this consistency instead of the watery Paverpol. And from this I made those roses. Very simple. Take a small chunk, play with it to whatever desire that you want, and then make it into a rose. So we've done that. I did that again the day before so that when it's drying, I can actually paint the colors that I want to make it to be. So that's that. So now, as I said, I have done some really crazy colors. The reason being is I like to experiment with all sorts of different textures and colors, and so I've taken Paverpol paints and also an acrylic paint. You can use both, which is wonderful, and made this color here. The next thing you would make sure you do is that you paint your faces. Now these faces need 3 coats to make it really nice, and again, crazy colors, and I'm sure it's going to look fantastic once I'm done. So those were painted. And then this small one was also painted. Now what I did is I went to Pinterest to see what type of color palettes I could be using. So this was one suggestion that I found, and I thought, well, what the heck? May as well try it, right? So those are all ready to go, and makes it much easier when you have that stuff all ready, and then you can continue with your project. Now for the masks, what I did is I used 2 different types of paints. I used the Paverpol paints, which is this one, and then I also did a different thing where I took my mask and I actually took Paver colors, mixed it in with transparent to create this color. And then again, 3 coats on each one of these masks to make it nice and thick, and you can really see it, okay? On my original project, what I did is I painted, like I said, with Paver colors and Paver paints, and then I added I added Paver sand to transparent Paverpol, and then I put a layer of that down. It also shines it up, by the way, if you use the transparent on here, and it gives it that gritty look. Now on the one that I'm working on, all I did was the gesso and really lumped it up so that I've got some good texture in here, and then I painted it with the Paver colors and with the Paver paint to just brighten it up a bit. So that was done yesterday. To give you an idea about transparent Paverpol, it looks white. Once it dries, it is absolutely transparent, as it states. But you have to make sure that you really, really stir it well, because all the ingredients that are in here need to be mixed well for it to be used as we're using it. So just make sure that you definitely mix this stuff really, really well. You'll see it if it's black or bronze or the pinky color. What'll happen is you'll see a little bit of a white, how do I put it? You'll see a little bit of white. You don't want to see any white. After you've stirred it all up, you want to make sure that the color is truly black or bronze or pink or whatever, and there's no white, because that is kind of the gluey stuff that adheres to the textile. By the way, this is extremely environmentally friendly. It doesn't hurt children or pets. Once I have finished playing with this stuff and I have a bucket of water with me, I just throw it right outside. It's absolutely harmless, and it just dries up and you won't even see it. So just make sure that you stir it well, and then you can use it outside. Do not ever put this down a sink. So if you're living in like I'm on a well, and I have in my studio here, I have actually access from my water right straight outside. It doesn't go through the system whatsoever, which would be bad because it will stick. So if you're playing with this, do not put it down your sinks or anything like that. You can just take that bucket, throw it outside, and you won't even see it the next day, okay? And by the way, I use the large buckets because I do so many projects, but they do come in smaller sizes, of course. If you look at my site, it's openingmindsinnovations.com, and you'll see all the different products that are available. Thank you.
Let me introduce to you some Paverpol products. Here on my table, I have the big star, Paverpol Transparent. And then I have the Paver Sand, and this little guy is the Paver Color Blue. Look how vibrant is that color. For sure will give more life to your project, okay? So those 3 products, if you buy this normally, will cost you $54.70. Today only for $41. Yeah, $41 just today for you who's watching our show today. And when you finish to buy it, I will give to you this beautiful set of buttons. Yeah, for free. Buy the three, $41, and get the set of buttons free. Hey Shahar, let's go back with you.
Oh yes, I need to get those products, right? But let's go back and talk to Liz because I know you're curious about her art. So Liz, I usually ask the artists to show the pieces. And the reason behind that is not only for you to talk a little bit about the process, they are always interested in that, but really to inspire them. And what I do love about your story is that you went to a workshop. And it's almost like you took not only action, but made a decision to make a change in your life right on the first one. Did I get it right?
Absolutely. Yep.
How much of a change in your life has it been then since you started?
Oh, tremendous! Because I'm going to be 68, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to wait here till my death. That's not a good thing. So I need to find something to do, and I found this. And I'm telling you, Shahar, I am constantly in my studio, working away at different projects. It's endless. It just does not stop. I just love it. It's so much fun.
And you went through you started about 3 years ago. You went through all the virus thing, right? Which was not easy to anybody. But actually, you used that time, Dan, I can see behind you, to create all the time, which is very healthy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. It was a sanity thing. Absolutely.
That's very good. And you know what I love about what you told me is really, I've been seeing this a lot actually. I read a lot of papers on marketing and consumer behavior. It's a passion of mine, belongs to my past. And one of the things that we've been seeing a lot on those papers, so in theory, right, is that all this crisis actually made people say, okay, maybe it's time to shift what I do. I'm not as happy as I should be here, and give that shift a chance to bring more purpose to the life. So it's not only about, I can give classes and I can sell products. Yes, you can do that, and you can make money, and you can sell your pieces as well. But it's more about what it's doing to me, the purpose that it has to me. Am I correct? Because then you prove those papers are right.
Yes,
Good,
absolutely.
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so grab one of the pieces and let's take a look up close.
I'll grab my favorite, okay?
Oh, yes. And it's a big one.
It's a very big one, yes. Let's see if I can get it on the camera for you.
Yeah, these are, look at that. Oh, she's pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. Now, this piece was inspired by Liz Bonser.
Love her.
One of her workshops, and I made it, and I love it. It's my favorite.
Tell me a little bit, what do you use for the dress and the hair?
The hair is wool, and then I use Paverpol, Paverplast, Paver sand, and then it's relief decor is the dress.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah, and then of course your wires and all that kind of stuff. And I've also used a large patio stone. Because she is so tall, I don't want her to fall over. So I've made sure she's well done. Yeah, a lot of
And
fun.
do you keep her indoors or outdoors?
I want to keep her indoors. I have her in a special spot in my house, and that's where
Nice.
she's staying. Yeah, I get a lot of compliments on her. So, and it's something different again that I've made, and this is for one of my many granddaughters.
Okay.
Whoops.
A whimsical figure. Look at that.
Yeah, she
Chicken.
loves chickens. So since she loves chickens, I made her a chicken.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Do you have one of the pieces that you usually teach in an in-person class?
Most of them, actually, I refer back to most of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my very, very first piece I ever did, and this, I never thought I could do sculpting. It was something totally new for me. And the course I took,
A little bit more. Yes, there.
yeah, This is the very first piece I ever did with Paverpol.
Ooh. So you were
And
taking the workshop, while taking the workshop or later?
that was the very first workshop I ever took.
Ooh, nice.
And
Okay.
that's what I created. I went, wow, I have some
I can do
talent.
this. Yeah,
Yeah,
good. You
yeah.
didn't allow all the critics inside your mind to
No,
dominate,
no,
right? That's good. That's
no.
good.
I have an A personality, so
I can see that.
yeah,
Very good,
definitely.
very good. Awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I know they are all anxious to see the second part of the tutorial, but when we come back, I would love you to tell us, how did you turn that garage into a studio, in the sense, what you have there, what's the structure? Because many times we think, okay, I want to do this as a side business or the main business or whatever, but I need this, and I need an office, and I need a studio. And
Yeah.
we can use what we have around us. I like that. I don't know how it is in Toronto, but I remember when I got to the United States, the first spring, I was going around with my car, and of course the garage doors were open. And I was amazed. It was a cultural shock for me, because I saw no cars inside garages, but like millions of Christmas lights and boxes inside them. And I was thinking,
Yeah.
so, you know, what's going on? And sometimes, like you said, you had all those things probably, but you turned that into the right place to give classes. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about that next, okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thanks.
I have one more question before we go, because I forgot. You talked about giving in-person classes. So if people want
Yes.
to take their around Toronto, where should they go? How do they contact you?
Okay, I'm actually in Sharbot Lake. I said Toronto because most people don't know where Sharbot Lake is. It's a small little
Okay.
village between Kingston and Ottawa. So I live right on a lake, beautiful lake, and yeah. So
Do
I
you have a
advertise, of course.
website, or how do
Oh
you
yes, sorry. I
communicate
have
with
a
people?
website. Yep, I have a website called openingmindsinnovations.com. I'm on
Nice.
Facebook under Opening Minds Innovations, and then of course, email and so on.
So if you want to visit Liz, write that down, because it's a great thing for you to go and get an in-person class with her. Let's now watch the second part of our tutorial.
Now we're going to paint these roses that I created yesterday, and again, the colors I'm using, I have no idea how they're going to look. It doesn't matter to me because I experiment with all sorts of different colors, and then some work, some don't work, but to me it really doesn't matter. Use your imagination. Just be creative. Don't worry about what other people are thinking or saying. This is your project, no one else's. So I'm going to start with this beautiful Paver paint, and it's the red color, and I'm going to put that right on. It's very simple. It spreads wonderfully on the rose clay, by the way. So you get the idea here. You just paint it on. So all of a sudden you've created this beautiful little rose or flower. It may not look like a rose to some, but it is supposed to be. And again, it doesn't matter. It's whatever your imagination allows you to do. Who cares what anybody thinks about what you've created? It's your creation, no one else's, right? So you just paint that. And then I'm going to be painting the other ones with different colors again. I'm trying to keep sort of to the hues that I saw on Pinterest, because I'm not a painter. I'm going to teach myself to paint. I have so much time to do that. So I'm going to just try to see what I can do. And Pinterest has some wonderful tutorials and everything else that can really make you become an artist. So here are the roses that I've painted. I've only done one coat so far, so I would suggest 2 coats when you're doing this, and I've tried to keep the colors a little bit towards what my masks are like. So here's more of a color to go with. Sorry, you can see that, like this. And the third one is just a color, whatever, just something to bring it out. So that's why I've chosen those kind of colors. And as I say, you need to really paint them twice. I need it to dry, but that's what the colors are going to be like. Okay. So at this point in the project, I'm kind of looking to see what I want to do, how I want to display this. So I kind of play around with it. The ladies are going to have, like I say, the scarfing all over their heads like this. But I also want to, you know, bring in some other more color to it. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of playing around with it, seeing where I want to put them. Do I want them the same as I did before, something totally different? I don't know. I'll just keep playing with it until I find what I like, what I see. So again, these feathers are amazing. I have to be careful though, because I am going to be doing the scarfing. So I'm trying to see where I can place these so that it brings in, again, more color to the, I'm a color person, bring more color into this project. So I think this might be how I want to do it. But again, I'll just keep playing with it, and then I'll show you what I've done when have made that decision, okay? Now what I want to do is I want to attach my heads. I've made a decision. I think I'll stick to what I did originally. It seemed to work out really well. So what I'm doing is I'm going to actually now put transparent, Paverpol transparent onto my canvas here. It does two things. First of all, it will make it shinier. The colors will become shinier, plus the masks will adhere to that very, very quickly, by the way. So I just literally take a large paintbrush and I smooth it on. Now you notice how white that is. You will not see any of that white once it dries. It is definitely a transparent Paverpol that's being used, and it's, like I say, very versatile. So you just keep putting it all over like this, and then we're going to adhere those masks on top of that. Let it dry. It won't take long. And then you have, it's like a glue actually when you think about it. So that's what we're going to be doing. And again, you want to get some of this color to be a little bit more vibrant. So I just keep on doing this, putting it on. And you'll notice the textures from the gesso that I put, because you always have to have gesso on your canvas before you can play with canvases. And something else I'm learning about painting, which like I said, I'm going to teach myself from different online classes that I've found, and become an artist, a painting artist one day at my ripe old age of 67. Anyway, it's, you know, retirement is the best time. I was in sales and marketing for over 40 years and done with corporate and all that stuff, and this has given me so much fun, so much relaxation, and I absolutely adore Paverpol and all its products and what you can do with them all. It's fantastic. So this is pretty much covered. Like I said, once it dries, it'll be a shinier look, which I like. A lot of people like matte, but I'm more of a shiny kind of lady. So then I just position them. I literally put them down. Make sure your gloves and your hands are very, very clean when you're doing this, by the way. And I just press down very gently to where I want it to be. Take my other little one. Maybe I'll put her a little bit more straight. Press down gently and hold it. This also gives me room for the relief decor that I'm going to be using for the scarfing. I might change her a bit more. Wait a minute. Might put her up. Let's put her up a bit. There. Whoops. And then we'll put her there. So now I have to let the transparent dry, and then I can start the next phase of this. Now, since I'm impatient to see it dry, which is my nature, I can use a blow dryer, and the blow dryer works fantastic. It dries the Paverpol quite quickly, and it just lets me then continue on with what I'm doing. Any kind of a hair dryer, some people use, I think they call it I don't know, a warm dryer or something like that, or an art dryer. I just use a small little hair dryer that I bought years ago, and it works just great. So I put it on low and just dry. If you're making figurine statues, all that kind of stuff, I would also recommend doing that so that you can go to the next phase of clothing the the statuettes that you're making. So this is just a nice little trick so that you don't have to wait and wait and wait. So as you can see, this is now dry, at least 90% dry. There's a little bit more in here that's going to be drying, but you see they're totally fastened onto this canvas, and it'll get even harder and harder as time goes on. So it's a wonderful product, the transparent. So this is just to show you how quickly you can continue on with the project that you're working on. And what you see here is the black Paverpol, and you'll notice that there's a white swirl in there. That is the actual gluey stuff that makes the textile harder. So you need to make sure that you really mix that in together. And you'll notice on the bottom, it's kind of like sticky stuff. So you want to make sure that that becomes all smooth, and make sure that it's well mixed up together. And it mixes up very quickly, by the way, as you can see. So it's not a hard task, but you definitely have to do that every time you use any of these Paverpol colors: the bronze, the gray, the black, the pink, and the white. So that's how you do it. Just use a dowel. Just use something simple. Again, dollar store. There's a lot of stuff you can get from the dollar store that makes this very inexpensive art form to do, and very creative. What I have here now is what we call relief decor. Very versatile, very stretchy. And what I do is I cut little pieces, nothing, no particular shape, just pieces. And this will be for the scarfing. So I need for the black, and I need for the, for the two masks that I've created. And literally I am just going to cut this into whatever piece I want, and then I'll start to play with it. Now I make about 2 or 3 pieces per mast, depending on what size I want to drape around the actual figure. So again, on this one, this will be the larger part that's going to be going around, and then we'll make some smaller pieces that will be added. So this is for the large figure. Again, just very nothing's precise in my art. I just do, and if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, oh well, we'll just try it again. But I don't ever limit myself to, oh, it has to be exactly this way or that way. I am not a perfectionist, and much to my husband's, he is a perfectionist and I'm not, but hey, 43 years married, I think we're doing okay here. So I'll get this ready, and then I'll show you how to put the Paverpol on, okay? So what I'm doing here is I've cut my little pieces of relief decor, and I'm going to kind of, before I Paverpol, because once this is Paverpol, it will, you will see it on here, so I don't want that to happen yet. So I just kind of play with it, see what I like, don't like, place it around the figurine, or the mask, I guess. Again, just, it will stretch, by the way, once it's with Paverpol on it. Just play with it, and that's why I've got smaller pieces too. One big large piece, and then some smaller pieces that I will put around her. And maybe one, I like kind of a loose kind of a scarf. So this I do so that when I actually do Paverpol my fabric, then I will at least know that this is approximately what I want to do. I can also take this now, and then I can cut it so that it is more stringy, has a bit more life to it. So, things like that. It's just so versatile. You can do anything you want, whatever your imagination. And like I said, no one can tell you what to do. So this I kind of like. I think I'll probably go with this. And again, once it's on, I can play with it some more. Now I'm going to choose black Paverpol instead of any other color, and I want that dynamic look, and we'll see if that actually happens. Again, like I say, there's a lot of colors here. I prefer a lot of color, and we'll see if it works. And again, it's, as I said, if it doesn't, that's okay. We'll start again. So I think this is what I'm going to be doing. Again, once I Paverpol the relief decor, it does stretch quite a bit, so it's going to look a little bit different even from what you're seeing here. But at least you can play with it even some more once it's on. But like, as I say, once you do Paverpol this black, the black how would I put it? The black will stain if you're not very careful. So you got to be very careful when you first do this, so that you know that this is how you're going to do it. Take a picture too. That's often what I will do, so that I can remember, and then just go with it. And we'll see if black works. I have no idea.
Hi, this is Danielle with Curious Mondo, and today we're going to go over another product from Paverpol called Paver Scrub. So I'm going to demonstrate what Paver Scrub is and a couple of ways that you can use it with your art projects. So as you can see, Paver Scrub is a flaky colorant that can be added to your project to add more vibrant color, add a little bit more dimension, and give it a little bit more texture. So one way you can use it is to put it in a cup like so. This, I've mixed it with Art Stone, and what I'm going to do is add this to my piece that I am working on with Paverpol. You can spoon it on and blend it in with your fingers or a spatula. Another option is to add it to a paste that you've already created using other Paverpol products, and you can blend it in. So I've done a first layer here. I can always add more layers and give it more volume and dimension. So it is available in 45-gram containers. So we do have 3 different colors to choose from. We have green, the terracotta, which is what you saw me using, and then a granite. So I like the granite, especially because you can use it in outdoor pieces for garden sculptures, and it gives it that authentic garden sculpture look. So that is Paver Scrub. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn about Paver Scrub. Have a great day.
Whew, things are going so fast, right guys? But it is just a small part of all the amazing things that you can do with Paverpol. I have the Paverpol Transparent, the Paver Sand, and this amazing guy, the Paver Color Blue. Look how wonderful is that color, right? So all those 3 products normally will cost you $54.70. But just today, because you are watching this show, I'm gonna give you a discount. Yeah, an offer for $41. Today only, $41. Paverpol Transparent, Paver Sand, and the Paver Color Blue, okay? When you buy those 3 products today, I'm gonna give to you for free this set of buttons. Yeah, for free. Go to the website, click on the link, and you can get the product. Hey Shahar, let's get back with you and Liz.
Wow, I need one of those. Save me one of those kits. Okay, let's go back to Liz now. Hey Liz, so when we ended our conversation, I talked to you about your garage. Tell me a little bit about the process of turning that into your school.
I was originally in my basement, and there was really nowhere. If you could see the stuff that I have to create, it's crazy. It's lovely. I love it. So what I decided is, I've got a garage I don't use. It's full of junk. So I said to my husband, we're going to turn this into a studio. So I got a contractor in. He did the whole thing for us, and water and everything else is now in my studio, because you need that, and heating, and it's just perfect. I mean, I live in here. I love it.
So, you know, I was about to say, wait. We are in the garage right now with you.
Yes,
I
yes,
thought
you are.
this was your living room or something. Amazing. So how
this
big is that garage? How many cars does it fit?
It used to fit, well, it never really fit any cars because it was so small, but it's about 400 square feet of space that I'm using.
So how many tables do you work there, and how many people can you have in one course?
I can probably put in a good 8 to 10 people.
Uh-huh. Wow, that's not bad.
Which is a lot, because, you know, with one teacher, it's a lot, because I give them a lot of attention. So
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Now, Liz, I see a beautiful lady. You don't need to pick her up. Just talk to us about her. She's in this beautiful dress with the hat. Tell me what inspired you to create her, and then a little bit about the process.
I wanted to have a figure that was very full figured, let's say that's back in 18 something or other. So do you want me to tell you what I used to make the dress?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay. I used an upside down planter. You know, the ones that you use.
Really?
Yeah. So I
Uh-huh.
used that, and then I covered it in foil, and then I covered it with the Paverpol material and everything. I
Uh-huh.
created the hat and I created the umbrella, all with Paverpol and different materials that you need.
Very,
And
very fun.
yeah, she turned out well. I really like her. She was fun.
Uh-huh.
So I'm
She's
thinking of
about
doing more
what,
period pieces.
14 inches high or?
No,
Um,
she is about 24.
wow, nice,
Yeah,
very pretty.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so I
It was
know
fun.
you don't sell them yet, right? You're saying, or have you sold them at all?
I have not sold them on
Okay.
purpose. I just haven't
So
yet.
let's pretend, let's pretend you were taking her to a show today. How much would
Okay.
you ask for this lady?
Oh, I do have them all priced, by the way, my
Oh,
pieces.
nice. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. She would be 175.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, Canadian,
So
by the way. So that's what, $2 US.
don't talk to me about that. Oh
Yeah,
my
I know.
goodness. But look at this. So you have an upside vase, right? And
Yeah,
you use
the
some
armature.
cloth there, the armature. So
Yeah,
the cost there is not a lot. You recycled something, right? And
it's
there's
t-shirt material. Yeah,
t-shirt
t-shirt
material.
material.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
and
the other
dollar
thing
store
that.
ribbing.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah,
That's the other thing that always attracts me, all this idea of creating the sculptures with textile hardener, is that your cost is very low to get started,
yes,
right? And you
yes,
create amazing pieces of art. And the
yeah,
price really is just to give people an idea of what they could
yeah,
ask, so they can make that bridge. But art is art. You ask whatever you want. Tell me,
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah?
absolutely.
No, go ahead. You're going to develop on that.
I was going to say that every artist has their own pricing, and what you feel is the correct price is the correct price. Being in sales so many years, stick to that price. Don't lower it. So if somebody's not willing to pay what you think it's worth, uh, keep it. Somebody will buy it for the price that you're asking for. A lot of people will say, "Okay, I'll give it to you for half price." You're just not doing yourself a favor whatsoever
Yes.
with that type of an attitude. So no,
Yes, and it's a matter of respect many times, right? And as you
absolutely,
said, the person will show up, and we need to be confident on that. Price
yeah,
is a very good excuse for people to give. It's rarely the
right.
reason they are not buying, right?
What people don't see, I think, Shahar, is the amount of work that's into
Mhm.
one of these, creations. Like this one that I've made for my granddaughter, the chicken. That's taken me 2 weeks, before it's finally finished and ready for her to receive. So it's the materials are not expensive, but the amount of time a person puts into something is very long. So
Yes, true,
because you want
true,
it to be
true.
nice.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And even
It's
though
important
you
to be able to
have you have
realize.
you have pleasure during all that process, it still takes
Oh,
a long time.
absolutely.
There is
Absolutely.
I don't know if you use TikTok at all, but there is a
No.
music, a song that is going viral, and I'm not going to sing it because it has some nasty words.
Oh,
But
okay.
the main phrase is, it costs so much because it takes many hours, right? And she
Yep.
even touches on the point of exposure doesn't pay the bills. Because we tend to
Right.
fool ourselves. I have so many followers that's
Yeah.
going to pay the bills, and it doesn't. But it's exactly like you said, it takes many hours. Talking about that, you said you were in sales, you said you were in
Yeah.
marketing. How do you promote yourself?
I do a lot on Facebook, and then I do belong to quite a few different community groups. Charlotte Lake is so tiny, 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 and it's not a lot of people around. So I try to hit Kingston, Perth, all these surrounding areas, and there's a lot of community pages that I belong to, and then I promote that way.
Very good. And locally, do you do anything there or not, specifically there, like flyers or things
Like
like that? Do you?
Yes, I've done flyers. Yep. And I do some stuff also for fundraisers. And
Oh,
that's another way to, to promote. So if someone says to me, Liz, can you create something for me because we're doing a fundraiser? Absolutely. Not a problem. Yeah.
it's a great way to put your face out there and your pieces out there, right?
Yep.
Very good. Very
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
That's the bonus.
your background is going to make you skyrocket on this because
Yeah.
it helps a
Yeah.
lot. Not being afraid to sell, and not being
No.
afraid to
No.
promote yourself, which a lot of people have that, right? So
Yes.
what
Of
would
course.
be your words for somebody that said, "Oh, I would like to sculpt, but I don't know if I can sell, and I don't like to promote myself." I hear a lot of that. What would you say?
I have a girlfriend who makes amazing dolls, and I say to her all the time, you know what, you should sell your stuff. It is amazing. And she can't do it. So I say to her, give it to me. I'll sell it for you, But basically, no, a lot of people are not comfortable in the sales and marketing arena at all. And in the beginning for me, it was also difficult because you're asking people, you're asking them to buy something from you, and it's can be uncomfortable. But you know what? It shouldn't be. Just do it. Just
Uh-huh.
do it. It will sell.
Yeah, that is true. And we tend to associate the selling part with some type of sin, and it is not, right? And I don't know how things are in Canada, but here in the US right now, we are facing major inflation. Things are getting to be
Yeah.
very, very expensive. So it's just
Yeah.
natural that some people will have to start thinking, I need to do something on the side, right? Because we are
Yes.
seeing
Yes. Absolutely.
the heat bill go 3 times higher. So it's not
Yeah.
just a little
Yeah.
bit that is going. So you have to start thinking, okay, what can I do to generate that extra income? But I need to be
Yeah.
comfortable asking for the money, right?
Yes. Yes.
Very good.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it takes a little bit of time, Shahar. You will do it, and
Yes.
you're absolutely right about having a small side business. It's perfect. I'm at home. I can do whatever I want. I can do it when I want. I do make money doing it. With my courses that I teach, and I teach quite a few classes here and there. And it's a great little. It's so much fun, and at the same time, I'm generating an income. So
Exactly,
it's a win-win.
exactly. It's a
Yeah.
win-win. We shouldn't be afraid to do that. And of
No.
course, it took you out of your comfort zone when you got started, but now things
Yep.
are flowing. Yeah, that's great. I
Yeah.
really wish people would pay attention to what you're saying because it can be life-changing for a lot of people. Not everybody
Yes.
will do this for money. Many will do because they just
Yeah.
love doing it. But, it can be a lifesaver there. So very wise
Well,
words.
I had a woman say to me, she took my class, and she's had, some issues in life. And after the class, she said, Liz, you've taken me out of my depression. This has been so great for me because I'm using my hands again. I'm creating again. And it's because of you that, I'm now starting to get back into that realm again. So I thought, wow, that's a fantastic compliment.
That's
And
fantastic.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have ways to impact other people, right? And it
yeah,
doesn't take much. It just takes the will and a little bit sometimes of courage to get started, right? You don't have that
yeah.
problem. I know I don't have that problem, but it's just that tiny bit of courage that take that step. Say yes, and
Yes,
let's
yes.
check it out. Liz, I'm going to go for the third part of our tutorial when the piece comes together. While I do that, grab 2 pieces to show us when we come back, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
sounds good. Thank you.
let's watch the part 3 of the tutorial when everything comes into fruition.
Now I'm going to show you how to dip the fabric into the Paverpol. Now, when you do have a large bucket like this, those are basically all I use. I would put some in a smaller container, or if you've got a smaller container, again, put it into something else, because sometimes the fabrics or the fibers might come off, and you don't want that in your big pot because of other projects that you're going to be doing. So I know that this will be fine, and I'm going to show you. I dip the fabric into the product here, and some people will paint it on. I find it very difficult to paint onto this one for some reason, so I dip, and I'll show you exactly what I do. So I just dip it down. You want to make sure that all of the fabric is done. You don't want to see any white anywhere, because what happens too is if you want to have this outdoors, you want to make sure that the materials are well covered, and then they can be outdoors 24/7. And I live in central Ontario, so up around Ottawa, Kingston area, and it gets mighty cold here in this lovely country of ours, and so I just make sure that it's well covered, and otherwise it's just not good to do. So what I want to show you too is that once you've dipped it and you make sure that there's no white anywhere, also notice how much longer it's become. And that's what relief decor does, but it's perfect because I like the stringy stuff that I'm showing you here. Sorry, you can probably see it now. And what I do is that I put it to the side and I let that dry a little bit, because as I say, my hands are filthy. I don't want to touch the canvas at this point. So I get this ready and I let it dry a little bit. Then I will wash my hands right away and start with clean gloves once again. There's nothing more frustrating than using different colors and then finding out that, oh my goodness, the black is everywhere. I don't want that. So notice a little bit of white here. We don't want any white. You want to make sure that it's well covered and that protects the fabrics. So I'll continue doing that with all of my little pieces. So I took 3 pieces for the larger mask, and then for the little guy I've made only two smaller pieces. But like I say, this stuff stretches like a son of a gun, so you want to just make sure that what you've got. And again, you know, I've mentioned this, but this is great. I like it when it's stringy and there's some stuff, because you can really play around with that. So I put that to the side, let it sit. So this is for my little lady, and I'm going to cover that well with black Paverpol, and we'll see what these dramatic colors will turn out to be. No idea, but we'll just make sure, like I say, you got to make sure that open, because you think it's all done, and then all of a sudden you'll see this white, and you don't want any white whatsoever, because it won't be protected outdoors if you do that. There's another large piece there. So just rub it in as best as you can, and just check it all over. Make sure that it's well covered. So this is the Paverpol black Paverpol. And here's my other piece. That's the last one that I'm doing. And I'm going to rub it all in real well, as you can see, and go and do that. And my gloves are pretty heavy now with the Paverpol. You don't need to drench the material, by the way. It just needs to be covered. So, and it takes much longer to dry if you drench it too much. So make sure that you can get out as much as you can from the fabric. See, this is going to look great. It's just stringy and long, and yeah, I like it. So now I'm going to apply the relief decor. Now the black looks kind of gray. It's not going to be. It's going to become extremely black. So I'm going to be careful and placing it on. Now I've already decided how I'm going to do that, which is very important, because it's once it's down, okay? So I'm going to be placing this, holding on some of the sides because I don't want it all over my canvas. And that's going to get placed on her, on her head, like so. Now you can always do touch-ups, by the way. That's not going to be a problem. I have all the paints, so that'll work fine. And just kind of play with it, like make it flowy, make it, you know, attractive as much as you can. So all these little pieces like this, I just love them. I just find that they really add, and you can kind of put them any which way you want. Again, like I said, I can touch up the areas that I've got that are so the black is hitting. I don't want a lot of black, of course. So on the face, I have lots of paint. I will redo that. Just place it in. Place it whichever way you want. The other pieces will be more of a little bit more dramatic. Sorry, you can't see that. There you go. So again, I'm going to place probably like so. Just use your imagination. Imagination in this stuff, it's just wonderful. and just kind of make it hang here and hang there, and just go with it. Just let your imagination go wild. It's wonderful. And again, this is going to become much blacker. And then I have a third piece that I want so that she has a bit more of a flow on the other side. And again, just lay it on. Don't have to be dramatic. You just, just place it on. Now on the smaller one, like I said, I've only got 2 pieces that I want on there. I don't want it to be totally crowded. And again, carefully place it down on her head. Whoops, like so. And if you don't like certain spots or there's too much there for you, then you just have to cut it. It's very simple. Leave that there. And again, and it'll look different every single time you do something. It'll always look different, which is what's so wonderful about this art form. It is what it is, and you just play. You can make it so that it's kind of sideways. It looks like it's windy. So these are fantastic. The little pickers, they're skewers that you can get, again, dollar store. And I use them just to bring things down a bit, just to help me, like so. Again, whatever paint or black I see that I don't like, I will repaint that. So then I can kind of pick up and do that. Put this up higher. All depends on, this is my artistic flow on this. Yours will be totally different, which is what's so wonderful about being an artist. It's not what everybody's doing. You can learn from other artists. We have some amazing Paverpol artists that are just amazing, and I learn techniques from them, which is wonderful. And again, we're all a great group of people, by the way. We're very helpful with each other, and yeah, very, very productive. Now this will stick right to the canvas, and again, play with it. Make sure that you're kind of, whatever look that you're looking for, which could be 1,000 different things. And that's why these skewers are so wonderful, because they help you, whoops, wrong end, no wonder I'm having trouble. They just help you spread it the way you want it to be spread. You can pick it up. And like I say, just play and have fun. This is what this is all about. So, I think I'm good with this. Leave that. So right now it's not looking very black, and that's the look I'm looking for. And once it's dried, it's going to be very black, and it's also going to be a bit shiny, which is again a good look. So what you're seeing here is some of the black has transferred onto the actual mask. It's not a problem whatsoever. Once everything is really dry, then I will do all these touch-ups in here and on the canvas too, and it'll just cover it right up, just so that you're aware of that, okay? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to see where I want to put my peacock feathers and then the roses that I created. Now with the peacock feather, I'm thinking I'm going to like it right smack in the middle here. So what I do is I lift up the material, I stick it underneath, like so, until I get it to the desired spot that I want it in. And you'll notice I'm not using gloves right now, which is okay. I've got to bring it down a bit. It stays on the canvas and still is kind of full. And when you place it on there, again, use your skewers. These are just so wonderful. See if you like it like that. Okay, to me that's not enough. I'd rather have it sitting like so, And then what I'll do is I'll take this piece over top, and that'll keep it in place, like so. So the actual peacock feather will adhere to the Paverpol so that you don't lose it. It just needs time to dry, that's all it needs. So we do that. I'll play with this. So what I'll do is I'll probably put some transparent there and then squeeze her down, and that way it'll stay better like that eventually. So there you go. Now the roses, again, you got to make a decision. Do I want one there? Do I want, where do I want them? So all these crazy little colors that I've got in here. And then you got this one too. So you just place them wherever you want. So I'll work on that and then I'll get back to you. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly had a lot of fun making it. Again, my name is Liz Bonser. My website is called openingmindsinnovations.com. And I'm also on Facebook, of course, and it's just Opening Minds Innovations. Really enjoyed this. Thanks so much to Curious Mondo for allowing me to do this presentation for you, and I hope you enjoy it.
Whew, the piece is ready. It's so phenomenal. Yes, I'm so excited. Let's talk to Liz about that. Oh, that's a great piece. Do you happen to have the mask close to you right now? Let's show them again. Yes. The final mask. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. How many of this style have you made so far? Following the mask?
Style?
Uh-huh.
Just two.
Just two. Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Two. Yeah.
So I know you have some pieces for us. Let's take a look at them.
Okay, this one here was inspired with the George Floyd situation that happened way back. And so we have a brown, we have a black, and we have a white person.
Nice.
They're all together. They're all working together as one. And that was the point I was trying to make. Color means nothing. Let's just be nice.
Yes, yes.
So that's what inspired that one. And they're all ballerinas, of course, as you can tell.
Very cool.
The second piece, this I made about 2 years ago, and I'm hoping you can see it all. And it's just wood from, like I live in a foresty area.
Oh,
as you can probably tell.
So
I created this piece. There's the bird.
Oh, there's the bird.
And it's just a native woman with her baby.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And
nice.
that was a fun one.
What did you use for the clothes? What did you use for the clothes?
I used relief decor.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yep. Yeah. And
awesome.
Of course your Paverpol and all that stuff. Yeah. So you can take anything from outdoors and make it all into one. It's just amazing.
It is amazing. It is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
This tells us once again, if people want to get in touch with you for classes or for your pieces, how do they get in touch with you?
Okay, you can get in touch with me through either Opening Minds Innovations at yahoo.com or openingmindsinnovations.com on the web. And then Facebook, I'm always on Facebook under just Opening Minds. If you go to my normal page, which is just Liz Bonser, you'll find me there too.
Thank you so much. And yes, and tell me.
And phone number if you want.
You're going to get
whatever.
A lot of people calling. Let them go through the normal channels.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Liz, I want to thank you so much for being here with us, taking the time to be here, but also all the time that it takes to record a tutorial. We know it's not an easy thing, right? It takes a lot of effort.
It's interesting.
So I think it shows your personality that you're willing to share and you're willing to tell the world, that this can be life-changing, right? It's not just a fun thing for us to do. It can change the way we see ourselves, the phase of the life we are living. We don't have to comply, right? To age, and we can change our life anytime we want. And you are an example of that. So any final words for those people that are still on the fence? Should I try this? Should I try this?
Well, I have a lot of people that before they start my course, they say, Liz, I'm not artistic. I don't think I can do it. And I always say, try it. And by the end of the day, even when I get them into the course, they'll say, "Oh, this is no," and I go, "Wait till the end of the day, and you're going to see an amazing sculpture." And every time they go, "Oh my God, I can't believe I created that."
That's very cool.
Simple.
That's very.
Yeah.
How long does a
Yeah.
class last?
It's about, I start around 9 till about 4.
9.
And I serve lunch, and they can go swimming if they want to go swimming in the lake.
Ooh,
And
really?
I have
Wow, this just
snacks
got more
and
interesting.
water. Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
really,
it's a beautiful property.
what you're asking them is, okay, give 8 hours to try if this is a possibility for you. Can
Yeah.
you spare 8 hours? Right?
Absolutely.
cool.
And I do a lot of mom and daughter classes,
Uh-huh.
which is great, or groups of friends, and definitely also people that don't know each other and become very close with each other. It's wonderful.
very
It's a really great day. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. Liz, thank you so much, and so much for your
Thank
work.
you.
Don't forget, we want you back here. Okay, so if you
I'll be
find
there.
any time after the holiday craziness, just
Okay.
just come back. Okay?
Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Shahar.
much. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Don't worry if you don't have a garage. If you have a small table that you can work on, here on my table, I have all the products that you will need. I have the Paverpol Transparent, the Paver Sand, and this little guy, the Paver Color Blue, just for only today for $41. Just go to the website and take advantage of this offer. And also, when you buy this today, you get a set of buttons for free. Yes, I'm gonna repeat, for free. Just go to the website and get your product.
Ooh, let's do the happy dance. Oh, he can really dance.
Wow, you can really dance.
And he did.
Bum, bum.
We have Nick Kinnis in the house. Yes, amazing wire wrapping artist. Some of you already know him. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having
So
me.
this show has nothing to do with wire.
No, not really, no.
No, so can I assume you've been playing with Paverpol?
I have been now.
Oh, tell me.
It hasn't been very long with Paverpol. I do have some experience with other fabric carding mediums, but Paverpol I'm pretty new to, about 2 months now.
Just 2 months.
Just 2 months.
And I love your pieces. We're going to show
Thank
them
you.
really in close up because they're not going to believe you've been playing just for
Oh,
2 months with
please.
that. But you said you tried other stuff that were supposed to harden. What's the major difference here then?
The major difference for me is I love the rigidity of the Paverpol. It really does harden up to like a stone hardness, which is something that I didn't really get with former products, which was kind of why I got a little sad about it. I was like, oh, I wish this lace would just stay a little more rigid or something like that. But this stuff is just fantastic.
Yes, and then you can add, well, you're extremely talented, but then you go thrift shopping and you found this doilies, right?
Yes.
Okay, let's show what happened.
All right, so first one, let's show the beetle. I'm pretty proud of him. This is my little jewel beetle that I've been working on.
It's a Jew.
It is a jewel. It is a jewel. Still a bit of a work in progress. I need to add some of the facial details, but we do have doilies that I've used to create the wings that I've actually paint stained. I just soaked the white doily in like brown paint water to kind of give it that tan tint without going too overboard on the color. And then we have a very glittery ribbon that I found at a craft store that I've used for the shell, and I actually was surprised that it worked on this.
It worked really, really well.
So nice.
You know that you know that very well. You and I, we have a thing for bugs,
We
right?
do. We
I
do.
don't know why in my mind that happens, but I love that. Now, I think your last piece was this wall piece, right?
Yes, this is my beautiful moth that I've created. I just wanted to kind of come up with my own design using different pieces of lace and doilies because I thought they were fun and wispy. I liked the negative space in the wings, so this is something I really wanted to give a try.
We did put this on a wall, by the way, and it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
Just, pops like crazy.
Yeah, I love the sequins in this one, love the different textures and colors. I'm thrilled with it.
Now, I remember when you said, I'm going to make a bug, and then you showed up with this guy here, right?
Yes, this was my very
The very first success.
Yes, my very first piece. This is called a caddisfly larva, but here we call them rock rollers. They actually build their shells using debris from their environment. So I coated mine with white topaz that has been harvested from here, turquoise, and ocean jasper.
Wow. All those right there
All
with the
that
bug.
right there.
That's amazing. And this guy that everybody here in the studio is in love with. Tell me about it.
Yes, this guy is the biggest one that I've made so far, and this is a bug called a katydid. Here we just refer to them basically as leaf bugs, but it's like a large grasshopper that looks just like a leaf.
Gorgeous.
And I had the funnest time creating him.
So tell me, which Paverpol have you used there?
For all of these, actually, I've just been sticking with transparent.
Okay, good.
Because I just like the different types of materials. Like, this is why I got into this, because I love fabric. I love seeing the different types of patterns and prints on the material, so I've definitely been sticking with the clear for now.
Okay, what are your plans next? So you start playing. I know this one was an experiment, and look how gorgeous it came out. But now you're serious about this. So what's
Yes.
next for you?
Next, I believe I'm actually going to be working on getting my certification to become an instructor for this.
He can really think. He can really think.
Yes, I mean, I don't see why not. I
Why
love
not?
the product. It's so much fun to play with, and I'd love to get other people involved in it. So it just seems like a logical step.
It is, and it's really gorgeous. I hope you keep making them, like a bunch of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
I've got at least 7 more just in sketch form that I'm ready to create.
man.
So
That's so cool. Now, Nick, I know people want to know not only more about your art with Paverpol, but with Wire. So where should they go to get in touch with you?
yeah, best place to get in touch with me is probably Facebook right now. Frequently Unique. That's my website, my little page that you can find me at. You can also find me on Instagram, frequently unique. Frequently_unique on Instagram. I think those would be the best places to reach me right now, as I am currently building a website.
And do you already have pictures of them?
I do.
Okay,
Of course I do.
That's where they have to go. Well, thank you so much for inspiring us to create more things
Yes.
and showing your beautiful bugs. I was going to say beetles, but we have all
That's
kinds
all
of them. Bugs, right?
Yes.
I think we need to dance some more.
I think you're right.
Yeah, woo, we can really dance.
We're so good at this, you guys.
Oh yeah, we should do this all day. Now it's time for the best tip.
Hi friends, Robert Imbriali here with your Marketing Minute. I want to talk to you today a little bit about what it takes to be successful in marketing your art. It's not what you think. A lot of people come to me and they say, you know what, if I just knew a little bit more about marketing, I'd be more successful. And I said, well, that's only partly true. The bigger challenge I find when I work with artists is that art is really an extension of themselves, right? So if you look at your art, it's something you created, it's something that came out of your mind, came out of your hands, your skills, your talents, your abilities. It becomes an extension of you. And you're very susceptible when that happens to criticism, right? So what ends up happening is a lot of artists are scared. They're scared to put their art in front of people because people might not like it. I got to tell you, when I first started speaking and doing videos, I had the same fear, right? If I do this video, and I know thousands of people are going to watch this video, if I focus on those people who don't like the way I dress or the way I speak or the content that I'm sharing, I'll never get out of bed in the morning, right? But the truth is I focus on those people who like what I have to share. They may not like the way I dress, they may not like the way I do my hair, they may not like a lot of things, but they get value out of the content. Those are the people that I focus on. So what I would encourage you to do is to focus your attention not on those people who might criticize you, focus on those people who absolutely adore you and love the art that you create. Then marketing becomes just a question of getting your art in front of enough people who love what you do, and the money will come because there'll be a lot of buyers for you. So I just wanted to share that with you today. I think it's really valuable. Follow me on social media. I am at Robert Imbriali on all the social media platforms. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Thanks for watching.
Have you ever thought about becoming a certified Paverpol instructor? If not, it's time for it. With a Paverpol certification, it allows you to give Paverpol classes. You will learn more about all the Paverpol products and how to apply them. In the best part, you know how to create a business with Paverpol. Go to paverpolamerica.com and enroll now.
I hope you have enjoyed the show.
Yeah, don't forget